Due Process, winner of 25 regional Emmy Awards. Due Process is a presentation of Rutgers University, Newark, and Rutgers Law School in Newark.
I did 7 years in Rahway. Thought I was going home, and the day I was scheduled to go home, they were like, well, you can't leave. They are targeting you for civil commitment.
He maxed out, sentence served, but the state deemed Rodney Roberts too dangerous to release. It would take 10 more years before a DNA test finally cleared him.
From that moment on, my life has been, I tell everybody I'm living the Viva Loca right now. It's been a celebration. Everything's a celebration to me because I know what it feels like to suffer. I know what it feels like to be deprived and not have and, be feeling powerless.
Civil commitment for those thought to be sexual predators. More than 400 in New Jersey locked up right now. That's this edition of Due Process. It's a kind of imprisonment reserved for just one type of offender. It has no set sentence and no guarantee of release. And right now, here in New Jersey, there are 484 detainees who already served their time, still locked up, because the state deems them too dangerous to release. It's called civil commitment, and the state says it's a treatment program, but the residents call it prison. And Rodney Roberts, for 10 years, was one of them. If you were with us last week, you saw Rodney's story. A guilty plea born of fear, a maxed-out sentence of 7 years, and on the day of release, not a ride home, but a surprise transfer to civil commitment. He would be held there as an incorrigible, violent sex offender for a full decade, although it would later be proven that he had been innocent from the start. He's here today in the moot courtroom at Rutgers Law School to talk about those 10 years, and he's joined by Professor Jenny Brooke Condon, director of Seton Hall Law School's Equal Justice Clinic, which sued the state on behalf of the hundreds locked up indefinitely in civil commitment. So, Rodney, let me begin with you. You are out,
Yes.
but you had a horrendous 17 years, and my guess is that the last 10 were worse than the first 7?
Yes, they were. I mean, 'cause the last 10 were worse mainly because of the indefinite determination, a lifetime of being civilly committed.
The first 7 you knew, even if you didn't get paroled, which you did not,
Right.
that you would get out in 7 years.
Exactly.
But you didn't.
I didn't. On the day that I was scheduled to be released, I was actually told that I was being transferred to what's now known as the Special Treatment Unit, and that a petition had been filed by the New Jersey Attorney General Office to seek my civil commitment under the Sexual Violent Predator Act. I didn't understand what that was and what that really meant, but all I knew was...
And let me just add, what you had entered a plea to was kidnapping.
Right.
Even though you hadn't done any of it.
Right.
But you entered a plea to kidnapping because, as you said to us last week, you were afraid that you would be in prison for the rest of your life if you tried to go to trial.
Yes.
So it's only kidnapping, it's not sexual assault, and yet the state said, you're a sexually violent predator, you stay.
Well, under civil commitment, the Attorney General is allowed to even use dismissed offenses as if they were convictions. And that's where the problem is at. When they use these dismissed offenses, there's no way to litigate against an offense that has never been brought to any fruition through the court system. There's no record there you can use it to help litigate your case because the offense has been dismissed. But for medical terms, I would say psychiatric and psychological terms, they will use these dismissed offenses as if convictions to determine a pattern